one independent variable to another independent variable. That is correlation between independent variables. If it is high, if the correlation between the independent variables is high, then it is called as collinearity problem. Then it is called as collinearity problem. We want, next point, you write clearly, we want the relation between independent variable and dependent variable should be high. We want relation between independent variable and dependent variable should be high, but not between the independent to independent. Between independent to independent, it should not be high. Between the dependent variable and independent variable only, the relation should be high. Example, dependent variable is SRK trainer. Example is dependent variable is SRK trainer. Right? Independent variables are students. Now, the relation between you and me should be very high. If the higher the relation you are having with me, you can ask directly the questions, whatever the doubts you are having. For example, if you are having a good correlation with me, assume you are very friendly with me. Now, if I am saying the sentences very fast, sir, could you please go slow, sir? You will ask like this. If you are not having a good correlation with me, you will see others' notes and they will copy that one. Simple. If you are seeing others miss, why you are seeing other notebook? Because they are writing and you are not able to write, because you are feeling that I am very fast. When you are feeling that I am fast, why you are not able to say? Because we are not having that much of correlation. If the correlation is high, automatically you will say, right? You will express whatever the doubts you are having, right? Simple. So the relation between the independent variable and dependent variable, if the relation is very high, then automatically what happens is you will get a good result. If dependent to dependent, if the relation is very high, what happens is if tomorrow you are getting one doubt, in the class you are getting one doubt, you are asking other student. Now, whatever the knowledge he is having, he is going to share that one only. If the same doubt, if you ask me, then I am going to share you more things. If you ask the same thing to the Google, you will get more things. Then friend, Google is the best one. Never ask the questions or never ask your doubts or never ask anything your friend. Never ask. Because if you ask like that, it is going to be same in the company. In the company, if you are having the error, who is going to solve? Either you have to only solve, right? Only you have to solve. That how you are going to solve is by checking in the Google only. At the time, this friend will not be there, right? So this friend will not be there, but another friend will be there. Na? In the company, obviously, another friend will be there, na? But you can't ask them. If you ask them, what happens, miss? You will be cheap. Where others also will observe you. What you are doing, everyone will observe in the office. If it is work from home, miss, okay. If it is in office, miss, everyone will observe you. That whether you are doing on your own, whether you are going to take the support of others, what you are doing, everyone will observe. Sir, since everyone is observing, if I open the Google also, everyone will observe. Now, miss, Google is common for everyone. That too, in your cabin only you are doing, and in your workspace only you are going to do that one. In your system and in your monitor only, it is visible for you only. Whereas if you speak to others, it is visible for others. So generally, we not discuss in the company with others. Arey, this problem I am getting, arey, bug I am getting, please tell me this one. What is the mistake I have done? We are not going to ask like this. We are going to check in the Google and we are going to type that error, whatever the error we have got, and we are going to rectify ourselves. So the same thing we have to do in the practice time also. So that is the reason the relation between you and the Google should be very high. If the relation between you and your friend is high, miss, in the company you will face the problem. The relation with your friend can be for others. That is not a problem. For coming to the subject, for gaining the subject knowledge, that should not be having a good correlation. It should not have. Okay. Right? So here, if you are having the correlation between the independent variables, very high correlation between the independent variables, between, for example, engine size versus cylinders. These are the two independent variables. If the correlation between these two are very high, I already told you what is meant by correlation coefficient and what is meant by high. High means it is more than 0.5. Okay. If it is more than 0.5 or if it is more than 0.8, then it is called as high correlation. Then if it is having more than that, the meaning is they're having the collinearity problem. They'll have the collinearity problem. If there is a collinearity problem, your model will not give the accurate results at the end. Is that clear? So that is the reason we are reducing the collinearity. To reduce the collinearity, we are going to drop the sum of the variables. We are going to check, is there any high correlation between the independent variables? Is there any high? If there is a high miss, we are going to drop any of one of the variable. For example, let us assume engine size and cylinder. These both are having very high correlation. I'm going to drop any one of them. Which one has to be dropped? That you have to do the statistical analysis. There are multiple things are there in that. Okay, that we'll see one by one. Which one has to be, one is dropped, that is sure. But which one has to be dropped? That we have to decide. Right? Here we are having the independent variable and the dependent variable. Next. So first we are going to take the historical data. The working of the regression. How the regression model works. Heading. How the regression model works. So first step number 1. It is going to train. It is getting trained on the historical data. The regression model will get trained on the historical data. That is, whatever the training data set you have provided, it is getting trained on that data. This is the training data. This is the training data. This training data you are going to give to the model. And the model will learn the things on the historic data. Now, once the model has learned the things, now you are going to give the new data and you are going to predict what is the expected value. Is that clear? First, you are going to make the model based on the trained data. And after that, you are going to predict on that and you are going to calculate the estimated value. In this way, we are going to do the prediction. This is called as predictive analytics. This is called as predictive analytics. Now, example. Sir, you are going to interview me. In the interview, I am having with respect to, you are going to check what is the knowledge I am having. You are going to ask multiple questions from multiple areas like core Python you are going to ask, and statistics you are going to ask, data pre-processing you are going to ask. Like this you are going to ask from various areas. And you are going to see what is my knowledge. And based on my knowledge, you are going to estimate the salary. You are going to estimate. Sir, how you are estimating? For example, I have interviewed one of the students in this class. And after the interview, I have told that based on your knowledge, you are having a package of 6 lakhs. You can expect a 6 lakhs package. So in the company, what is your expected package? Means you say that my expected package is 6 lakhs. This is your knowledge level. 6 lakhs knowledge level you are having. Now, sir, how you have told that 6 lakhs, sir? Why you have not told 6.2 or 6.5 or 5.4 or something like this? Why you have told me 6 lakhs? Because in my experience, I have seen the students with respect to the students and their packages. Now I'm going to compare if this type of knowledge is there for this type of students, how much package will be there. That is the past data. First, I am taking the past data. In my experience, I am having the past data and I have analyzed that one. Model is nothing but analysis. And now for the new student, I am going to estimate the salary. That is regression. Estimating the salary is a regression problem. And HRs are going to do the same thing. In the company, the HRs are going to do the same as it is. Whatever the test score you are having, whatever the interview score that you are having, everything they are going to collect. And what is your salary expectation also they are going to collect. At the end, if it is matching this, they are going to release the offer letter. Otherwise, they are going to say, we'll let you know. Right? So all these parameters, just they are going to apply the technique. So just I'm going to show you how the HRs are going to do that project. I'll show you, including the deployment and how the HRs are going to enter the values and click the submit button and how they are going to get the exact value and how they are going to negotiate with you. Everything I'll show you. That project is there. Okay. We'll discuss that one in the further. So now just we have to observe is first we are going to understand the past data. From the past data, we are going to analyze and we are going to make the regression model, one model. And for this model, we are going to give the new data and we are going to ask to predict what is the value. And whatever the value it is going to predict, how much accurately it is going to predict. Means already we have checked the train accuracy and test accuracy. Yesterday I have told you. Say same way, whatever the accuracy it has maintained, we are going to estimate this value based on that accuracy. Sir, you are going to say for me 6 lakhs package. you are going to interview me, and based on my interview score or whatever the subject knowledge, you are going to say that you are going to get 6 lakhs package. Sir, what is the probability? What is the accuracy probability that I'm going to get 6 lakhs package? Miss, I'm going to say with 90% probability you get the 6 lakhs package, or 80% probability, or 70% probability. Based on my past experience, whatever the accuracy I'm having, based on the same, I'm going to say for you this much of accurately I'm going to predict this value. Is that clear? Step by step. Now, types of regression models. In that, first one is simple regression. Second one is multiple regression. Simple regression meaning is simple regression where you are having one independent variable and one dependent variable only. Two variables. One independent and one dependent. If you are having only two variables, that is, one is independent and one is dependent, it is called as simple regression. It is called as simple regression. Means you are going to estimate the output based on the given one input variable only. You are not going to consider multiple input variables, only one variable. Okay. Example is, last class we have discussed, that is x and y, x values and y values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something we have taken like this, and 10, 20, 30. Today I am not having the pen. It will not be that much of clear. So 50. So like this is the example. Here you are going to estimate the y only based on the x variable. Only single x variable is there. So this is simple regression. This is the example of simple regression. Multiple regression means the same whatever the variable you are having. Now this one is getting dependent on x1 variable and also x2 variable. And 11, 12, 14, 19, 20. Something you are having like this. Now you have to identify the relation between y over x1 and x2. The relation between x1 and x2 also. Might be x1 plus x2 is equal to y, or x1 square into x2 is y. And anything. The relation might be anything, but you are having two independent variables. More than one independent variables if you have, then it is called as multiple. Multiple regression means one dependent variable with multiple independent variables. Multiple means more than one. With more than one independent variables. Okay. Once again, simple regression meaning is you are having one input variable and one output variable. One input and one output is called as simple. Multiple regression means more than one input variables. More than one input variables. Output variable will be one only. Output variable is one. But input variables you are having more than one. Right? Exactly one input variable means simple regression. More than one means multiple regression. Now, within the simple regression, you are having linear and non-linear. Similarly, multiple regression, linear and non-linear. What is meant by linear? Linear regression is nothing but relation between x and y is linear. The relation between x variable and y variable is linear. It is called as linear regression. It is called as linear regression. If the relation between x variable and y variable is non-linear, then it is called as non-linear regression. Okay, once again, write in the notes clearly, linear regression heading. Heading linear regression. In that heading, write the sentence, linear regression means the relation between independent and dependent variable, or input variable and output variable. Simply to say input and output. The relation between input and output variable is linear. If the relation between the independent variable and dependent variable is linear, it is called as linear regression. Yeah, x is input and y is output. Simple. Satyanarayana, exactly. Right? Non-linear regression, heading as non-linear. What is meant by non-linear? The relation between input variable and output variable is non-linear then it is called as non-linear regression. Right? So here we are having with respect to example is CO2. You are going to predict this output variable, which is Y variable, by considering only one input variable. So it is called as simple regression. Here you are going to consider this Y variable based on the X1 and along with the X2. Two variables you are going to collect, and based on the two variables you are going to estimate the Y value. Now, whatever the Y value and the model or with respect to whatever is there, that is called as relation. I already told you. The relation is nothing but Y is equal to F of X. Y is function of X. The X is equal to 10X or 20X or X plus 2 or 4X plus 3 or something. Anything can be there. If the relation, whatever the relation you are having this F of X, if this F of X is a linear, it is called as linear regression. If this F of X is non-linear, then it is called as non-linear regression. Example, for linear regression, example of F of X is 10X plus 5. 10X plus 5. Just a minute. Example is 10X plus 5. Okay. So what is meant by 10X plus 5 is, if you draw between the scatter plot versus X versus Y, now 10X plus 5 means 10 is nothing but slope. 5 is nothing but intercept. Means you are going to take y-intercept of 5, and from here you are going to draw a line like this, which is a straight line. So straight line is called as linear line. Straight line, whatever the straight line is there, it is called as linear line. Write in the notes very clearly this point. Straight line is nothing but a linear. Other than straight line, any curved line, anything is called as non-linear. Curved line is called as non-linear. Anything. So quadratic, y is equal to x square, y is equal to x cube, y is equal to x to the power of 4, y is equal to 1 by x, y is equal to minus x, anything. So anything which is a straight line is called as a linear regression. Straight line, which is purely of straight line. So let me draw the straight line. So you're going to take a straight line like this. This is linear. If you're going to draw any curve, anything apart from the straight line, any curve, this curve, this curve, this curve, any curve is called as non-linear. You are going to identify the relation whether in a straight line or whether it is in a curved line. Sir, what is this straight line and curved line? We'll see one by one. Okay. Just as of now, to simplify example, I'm saying that linear means which is having the relation in a straight line. Okay. Sir, the linear line should not be passed with origin. If it is going to pass with origin, when it is going to pass with origin means, if you are having, for example, only 10x, the y-intercept value is going to be 0. The y is equal to mx plus c. If c value is 0, then the line will pass into the origin. If you are having with the c value, then it is not going to pass into the origin. Sir, what is meant by y-intercept? Here, some of you may not be that much of good at maths, or you have forgotten. Not a problem. Y-intercept is nothing but the line. If you extend this line, like this, somewhere it is going to cut the y-axis. At the point at which it cuts the y-axis, this distance of y-axis is called as y-intercept. The point at which it cuts this, what is meant by m? Y is equal to mx plus c. In that y is equal to mx plus c, c is nothing but the point at which if you extend this line to the y-axis, at point at which the y, it is going to cut the y variable, that point is called, that value is called as y-intercept, which is called as c. This is the minimum y value, right? Now, what is meant by m is slope. Slope means nothing but at what angle. This is one angle, this is one angle, this is one angle. Like this, you are having multiple angles are there. Each angle is called as slope, right? Based on the slope, you are going to tilt the line. Is that clear? Yeah, we are not going to apply that concept here. The signal processing concept is entirely different, and here the concept is different. Okay. Applications of regression are nothing but sales forecasting, price estimating, employee income. All this comes under regression examples. Predicting the mileage of a car, all these things. Right? Now, in the online, one of the student is asking, sir, please repeat the multiple linear. Multiple linear means, first, what is meant by multiple? First, multiple linear. Multiple means more than one input variables is called as multiple. That is the meaning of this one. Multiple meaning is more than one independent variable you are having, or input variable you are having, and one output variable. Output variable will be one only, but input variables will be more than one. Now this is called as multiple. Linear means the relation between y and x. Whatever the relation is there, that is y is f of x now. This should be the linear. The f of x should be the linear. Then it is called as linear regression. Multiple linear regressions means multiple variables are getting dependent on the y on a linear way. Like example is y is equal to mx plus c is for simple linear. The same thing, y is equal to m1 x1 plus c1. This is the first variable. m2 x2 plus c2 for second variable, and so on up to how many variables you are having, up to that mn xn plus cn. For each variable, you are going to consider multiple variables you are going to combine. This is the equation. This is the equation for linear regression, simple linear regression.